Hi, my name is Patrick, and this video should tell you about how to classify questions in MBA CET mock. Classification is important to basically decide which to solve first, which to solve second, which question to leave, when to solve a question. All that becomes important when you classify the questions. So let's look at different ways of classification. First classification, I would say identify questions which you can solve when you're tired and which you can solve which require complete attention when you solve. For example, if I'm solving a puzzle, I require a complete attention. I mean, I need to be accurate. But if I can solve verbal section even when I'm tired, I realize that either I keep it in the end or keep it in the start with full attention or half attention, I still manage the same accuracy. So in verbal, I can always keep it when I'm tired. That means when I plan the paper, I will accordingly plan the paper of verbal in such a way that when I'm tired, specifically after 2 hours, people get tired. Okay. Identify the phases. Some people are tired after 1.5 hours. They have that lean patch after 1.5 hours where they can't focus. Some people are tired after 2 hours. So identify the area where you're tired and plan those questions at that point of time. So since I'm normally tired after 2 hours, very difficult to focus, I can then keep a verbal section at that point of time and solve. Okay, at that point of time. Because at that point of time, I don't require to think too much. Just read the question, mark the answer, whatever comes right. I realize my accuracy does not change much. Perfect. You need to experiment to find out what works, what doesn't work. But yes, the idea of this classification is to plan your paper, which question is solved. Specifically, there's always that lean patch in every person where you can't focus, you can't concentrate, either because you're tired or whichever case in that case. So it's always good to identify questions, which questions you can solve that. It could be logic for you, it could be abstract reasoning for you, it could be verbal for you. Identify those questions and plan those paper accordingly. For me, it is verbal. I can solve verbal when I'm tired. I can even solve maths when I'm tired, technically. Okay, but for logic, I require focus. But yes, in maths, if I'm tired, my accuracy may go down. But in verbal, my accuracy is anyway remains the same. So plan that accordingly and plan which part of paper you'll solve which type of questions. Second, okay, questions whose accuracy does not change much when you go fast. Okay, so that means there's some, like for example, in my case, verbal, if I solve fast, my accuracy is the same. I go slow, my accuracy is the same. I've realized that. I think and try to solve and try to get the answer correct. I still get the same accuracy as compared to go fast. Okay, that could be, for some people, it could be abstract. If I use some techniques which are fast techniques, I mean, my accuracy may go down a bit, not much, but still I can solve more number of questions given some time. So what I normally suggest people is try some new techniques and see how does it affect your accuracy. If you can go fast without reducing your accuracy by much, great, follow that strategy. Okay, you can solve more questions, maybe you'll get more marks per minute. The only way to do that is experiment and find out what works and what doesn't work for you. But as I said, the key is in this part is to look at those questions whose accuracy does not go down by much if you go fast. For me, it is verbal section that normally works. Sometimes it is also in other areas like maths, etc., where I can go little fast, or abstract reasoning where I can go little fast and my accuracy doesn't drop by much. See, experiment, see what works for you. Third, questions that are likely to get stuck. I mean, especially logic and abstract. I mean, when you solve logic, you solve abstract, there's chances that you'll get stuck. Be careful with these questions. I mean, the reason because you don't even realize when you got stuck. For example, there was one time in the examination, there was a logic question which was really tough. But there were a lot of 10 questions in that particular section. So people started solving. They didn't realize they spent almost 15 minutes on that question without being able to get the answer, and the time passed by. Similarly, there was one question which was comparatively easy. Okay, and they wasted 10 minutes because they thought it was easy till get the answer, but there was some error in the question because of which they couldn't get the answer. And they ended up wasting 10 minutes without getting a single mark. So be careful with the logic and abstract questions. It's easy to get trapped in it. You feel, oh my answer, I'm getting the answer. But it is high chance that you may not get the answer and you may waste time on it. So keep a time for it. I mean, I'll try for half a minute, like a number series question, something. If I get it, great, I'll solve it. If I don't get it, I'll skip to next questions. So be careful with these type of questions. Fourth is identifying marks per minute. For every question that you solve, classify them into high accuracy, low time, low accuracy, low time, high accuracy, high time, and low accuracy, high time. So normally you will first solve questions which is high on accuracy but takes less time. Second, you will solve low on accuracy but takes less time. Since you can take in less time, though the accuracy is low, I can still solve more number of questions. For example, let me say in verbal, maybe I solve 5 questions. I may only get 3 questions correct, but I can solve 5 questions in 2 minutes, like synonyms, antonyms, so on. I can solve in 2 minutes. So in 2 minutes, I'm getting 3 marks because I'm getting 3 questions correct. But in maths, in 5 questions, I can get 5 marks and I take 5 minutes. So 5 minutes, 5 marks. Normally it is good, but I get only 1 mark per minute. So since I'm getting more marks in analogies and synonym antonym, I'll preferably solve those than maybe maths question because I get more marks per minute out there. So marks per minute becomes an important criteria in terms of how do you which question to select, which question to leave in the exam. Whichever question takes lesser marks per minute, please solve that. Prefer those over which takes lesser marks per minute. Okay, more marks per minute is preferred. So these are the classifications which are there. I mean, you can classify the way you want. The idea is to identify and know the different type of questions that come in the exam, and then plan your paper accordingly. So after every exam or after every mock, spend some time on a type of questions that are come in the exam. See if you have to solve this in the actual exam, where would you place it, what time, how do you solve it, would you go fast or slow, and then try to have a strategy for yourself. Right? Hope this helps. We'll come up with more videos that will help you. All the best.